And do you think that people got it? And do you think they now get it?
And when you mean the Sadhguru scenario?
Life, your journey.
Life itself? Okay, well, I mean, all of this is, as I say, getting it. What is it? You know, we all looking for that it. Some people want the end of their misery and they want an immediate solution. Some people want to lose weight. They want an injection or a tablet. Some people want to get strong. They want an injection or some kind of supplement. Everybody wants it and wants it now. You know, I always say to get to the real things, you have to go far. You ever hear nothing good comes easy. Sometimes to get to the master, you have to go through the forest, go through the river, climb up the mountain, go to the highest peak under a tree with bees. To then find it, it is never easy accessible. And this is the second person I introduced Sadhguru to somebody else who wanted to meet him so bad. And when they meet him, they say, I thought I was going to meet a guru. I thought I was talking to my uncle, the way he was. Yeah. That is how he will be when you first come to him. You wouldn't get it immediately. You know, you'll have a book. And if he said, on page 95 is the solution of what you have to do. But from page 1, you have to prepare yourself to be able to do what you have to do. You know, people will skip the preparation and go to page 95. Yeah. That is the natural instinct. So people want everything now. Nobody wants to wait. Nobody wants to work their way up. Nobody wants to take their time. And that is the lesson that I got from it. You know, when I first saw the teachings and understood what was in front of me, I know behind the regular life, behind the surface of life, there are deeper things. But you have to seek. Only those who seek will find. Everybody wants it right here on the surface, fast food, fast service, everything quick.
Instant gratification.
Instant, Instagram, followers, likes, fame, everybody want to get rich. But if you go deep, you have to get quiet, you have to get still. That is something you have to learn to do. When you do it over and over and over again, one day you will find the true essence and you realize, oh, it was right there all the time, but I had to make a little journey inward, you know?
You know, they say in your own song, they say you're only as good as your last performance.
Yeah.
And I was speaking to Jeffers, person who wrote the song Encore.
Yeah.
What does that line mean to you?
Well, first things first, when I heard that line,
he said your paws raised.
All my paws in my body raised. And immediately I know I was dealing with something that resonated very deep with me. I was overcome with emotion. It just felt like the summation of my life. Every time I come, I have to do better. You know, you could get 19, you could get 20, 15, 14 road match, 15 road match, 16 road match, and 17, they ain't like you at all. I had to build back to 18. You get 18, you get 19, 20, they ain't like you at all. You're only as good as your last performance. And I thought it meant that you have to keep struggling. But I was sitting with Peter Minshall when I went to show him the video after we did it. And he just blurted it out. He said, you're only as good as your last performance means you could always do better. And then I understood it. If this was to be our last interview, give your best. Give all. And you know, a lot of people told me that, Machel, when you're singing a happy birthday message for somebody, or you're doing a little Christmas video, you just put everything into it. I say, everything I do, I put everything into it to make sure that if this was the last, you know what I mean, it will go down as the best. You know, and you could always do better. Keep trying to better yourself. And that's where we find ourselves, is encore, over and over again.
The truth is we never really self-actualize. We're always going to get better and better, or there's always room for improvement. But one thing I went to at the listening party, and I always see it in so many performances, and we've been talking so much over the years. Even I remember a conversation when Like a Boss came out 2012. But even more so now with your meditation and meeting Sadhguru and going to, spending a couple months in India almost every year. When in some of your songs you show that you go to a place and you visualize, and in that pause, in that meditation, you go somewhere. So if there's not one specific place, what is the most special? And can you talk a bit more about that? Take me on that journey.
Well, that place that you go to, I thought you was talking about spiritually.
Right.
I realized you meant,
but an actual place, like where do you see?
Like I have gone to India, I've gone to Africa, multiple places in Africa. I went to China, and every time Belize.
Right. But I do mean spiritually, yeah? Well, I mean when you're up on our stage.
Yeah, physically, I go to these places and I find that spiritual place, which is really inside here. You want to achieve everything in life, you want to get everything in life, you will go here searching for the house, the job, the wife, the kids, the second wife, the ultimate children. You know what I mean? A bigger house, a bigger car, 2 car, 3 car. And so you're going to make you happy, but you'll always be chasing more. Because guess what? That is the nature of life. To be infinite, to be exponential. But really and truly, can you gather everything in the world physically? If I give you, some people say, if I make you the king of the world, would you be satisfied? No, you'll want the universe. And then you'll want the galaxy. And then you'll want all the galaxies. Mm-hmm. We just want to be everything. We want to be all, but where is all? You know what I mean? Where is all if you're in this physical world? You don't know what is the end. You have too much things gathered, and it'll weigh you down. But spiritually, if you go inside, because our blood is the same color, inside you, inside me is the same place. So they say, in is the fastest way out. You go inside, you find that place where you understand where your source of creation is. You understand where your creativity coming from. You understand where your courage coming from. You understand that love for humanity and for all people lies inside of you when you really reflect. When you really, people pray and it happens to them while they pray, and people mourn, it happens to them while they mourn, and they're going inward. So once you find that special place inside, you close your eyes, close your ears, and do what you like to do. You like to interview, you like to rap, you like to sing, you like to dance. Do it inside for you, and you'll find a place where.
But what does that look like for you? If you could just say, is it an ocean? What are some of the things that you see?
It is
in
not,
that moment?
It is not something you see. It's actually blindness. It's actually no sight at all. It's feeling. Yeah. You know, if you say, okay, if you look at a sea, you might say, hey, the tree nice, but the road are nice. Hey, the road nice, but the clouds are nice today. You know, that is judging again based on duality. Right. But if you have no sight and you're just feeling the energy, you're feeling the energy and oneness, it is a very powerful thing, you know?
Most people, we know, well, what we think we know about Machel the artist, Machel the many names, Boy, Monk, Mr. Carnival, Taipan, HD, Double M, Dr. Mashup. There's so many names over the years that you've brought us in that love for Carnival, Mr. Carnival. But we don't know a lot about Machel the father, Machel the uncle. So I did some research, and in speaking to some of them, they said Machel, uncle, well, in certain cases, Machel or dad or is a kicks man. Right. Very fiercely protective over the family and holds everyone to radiate at a much higher frequency. Is that balance a very key focus for you?
Well, I mean, it is who I am. Every day I just strive to be who I am. I try to be natural. I try to not be unnatural. I try to not do things to impress unless it's show business. You know, I try to be me, which is to be love. To be love is to be forgiving, is to be caring, is to be protective. Sometimes it's to be stern, sometimes it's to be harsh. But I just be love. You know what I'm saying? Love to anybody. If somebody come and ask me a question, I go deep into myself to try to answer exactly what they're looking for, just to be in service to them, the highest level of service. So I wouldn't say I'm fiercely protective over my family, but I am fiercely, in service to them. Right. Meaning I know what I do and how they can enjoy it, and I have to make sure that I'm always healthy, in the right sound mind, always responsible to do my best for my family. Kicks, yeah, for sure. I am the funniest person.
You like a roast?
I am the funniest person here. Trust me, I should be a stand-up comedian. You understand? But I like to do that because I like to make people laugh and ease the moment when it's stressful and come into a room and just, lighten up somebody's day. What else you said? He is
Kicksman. Love to roast, fiercely protective.
Something else you said.
You keep them to a high frequency, to radiate at a high frequency.
That is the one that is the most important. I always want to see people operating at the highest potential. So I will always be encouraging them to do the right things or to do the things that in my experience I know help me get there. How to think sharp, how to listen well, how to pay attention, how to approach anything that they're going at in steps, one bite at a time. Bite the elephant one bite at a time, and you'll see the solution. So that's who I am. I encourage them towards greatness.
Sadhguru said one of the most beautiful moments in life is the moments where you express joy instead of seeking it.
Right.
And 40 plus years on, you've brought joy to so many people's life. As I said, being Mr. Carnival. And that radiating at that level must certainly take its toll. So as fans, as friends, as fellow Trinis, you mentioned it briefly. You said there's a song in the album where it gives some idea of maybe some health issues. What I want to know is, are you good, and are you going to be okay?
I am always going to be okay, and I'm always good with whatever is happening. It doesn't mean that there are challenging times. It doesn't mean every day you see me I'm not in pain. It doesn't mean every day you see me I'm not carrying a bigger burden than most people, I mean, well, I can't say for most people, but a bigger burden than you would expect, But at the end of this all, I will tell all these stories. This moment coming into this carnival was a big moment, very special. And I think it will look like if it's just about Road March, and will look like if it's just about another big album or whatever. But this is a very significant step in my journey, and the story will be told. We're starting by telling a story of our documentary called Like a Boss, which was in the production from 2015 up to this day. And suddenly this year, it just multiplied. So, they say 10 years, the tipping point.
Yeah.
Malcolm Gladwell, 2025. We had the road march in 2015, and in 2025, we had one of our biggest road marches at Party again. That 10 years has taken us to this new chapter. And this new chapter was like giving birth all over again, because there were challenges to survive, challenges to live. And I documented it all.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to tell it because I know a lot of people look at me and look at life and think it's one way, but if they really see the truth behind the scenes, I'm a legend on the front page.
Yeah.
But the backstage, is where you have to see what is making it that way. And I think this journey in this last year would tell a lot about how hard it is to get to this when you listen to people saying all different things about you, just trivially, but they don't know what you're putting in for your fans or for the audience or for the culture.
We all know, you see it time and time again. People ask, what is he on? We know you're,
right.
Of course, around this time you sort of see, you pop up in many different parties. But throughout the entire year, you're constantly at it, constantly trying to change the narrative, constantly paving the way for the others to come. And with that, we just want to know, like I said, you said you're going to be okay. I just want to know that, can they rest assured that through it all, whatever is happening, that Machel is still going to be around?
Well,
he's still around for Carnival.
I don't have that answer. As long as the good Lord keep me, the Creator has that answer, and that is the trivial, not the trivial. That is the finite essence of life. You could be here today and gone tomorrow. That's why you have to enjoy every moment. That's why you have to be as good as your last performance and keep going. I couldn't tell you that, but for right now, I think everything in my life is happening the way I have dreamed of it. I'm content with my family and my friends and my team, the people I work with. Most importantly, I have no stress, no problems. Everybody clocking. We might lapse every now and then. Somebody will fall asleep. Somebody will miss a cue. But that is nothing compared to what we have going for us. We want to share our knowledge with the young people. We built a whole Songbridge program for that, and we're excited to do that. We just invest in terms of farming, in terms of eco-wellness tourism. We just invest in terms of music production and studio. We're about to hit that and really kick back and relax and not try to compete and fight up with everybody, but to help young people come up.
Let me piggyback on that. Just said about young people coming up. Right now we could gather you the happiest man alive.
Yeah, man.
We speak about young people. So two things. One, what is some of the advice, and this is going to be kind of cliche, what is some of the advice you may give your younger self of the things that you know now, looking back? And there's a second part to it, but I'll get to that after.
I would have furthered my studies in music and in my art. I did do something. I went to recording workshop in Ohio. I have a sound engineering degree. You know, I did do some piano lessons, but I wouldn't want to go to Berkeley or go to a Full Sail or go to a full-on performing arts.
Right,
you know, yeah, so I could have been really, really open and knowledgeable. I had to learn all my stuff on the fly. And I don't think that is something we should leave to our young people in Trinidad. If they could reach as far as Machel, they'll have to work super, super hard and 10 times harder in this new environment because there are so many distractions and so many people want to make it so fast and so much competition.
And the instant gratification like we spoke about.
You wouldn't be able to achieve what I've achieved then, no. It is tough. But if you have your skills backed up, if you're a good cameraman, if you're a good lighting man, why not have the top lighting schools? And I am saying this to the government and to corporate society and the citizens. It is on all of us. Let's set up industries, standards, education for our culture. We are a nation built on oil and gas, and we survive and we see how, you know, finicky that is right now with our neighbors and what's going on all over the world and the wars. And you can't depend on that all day. That is a diminishing resource. But the human resource is not going away, and it's coming, and we could play pan, and we could play tassa, and we could beat drum without any training. We're just learning from one another. Let's put this into, you know, 10x in.
Yeah.
Let's scale.
I like that.
Let's scale and see what we will reap. We'll be a nation. Our carnival, our shows, our manufacturing, everything will boom.
I'm just speaking about young people. So the second part I have is a lot of times haters gonna hate. There's all sorts of things. And I remember, I think it was Kim Kardashian that said, you know, there's no good or bad news. It's just news.
Right.
And there's, you know, you've seen some memes even going around now where people love to hate Machel, but yet still they love to follow and know what it's about and revel in the party. It's just, I remember on one of my shows, they spoke about it as we are fashionably unimpressed as a nation.
Yeah.
So we love to hate, but the reality is the only thing stronger than hate is love. One of the things that people always talk about is Machel will give back to the young people. And I want to share a story that you would know that I know, where you were recently visiting, let's just use the word, a professor in Takari, who had turned up at his home. And a young man was trying to come over to share some music with you. And the people when he was trying to come over thought, oh God, Machel gonna shut this man down. And they said, Machel stopped in terms of the conversation, even though he was supposed to rush off, and spent over 45 minutes going through every single bit of music with this gentleman. And he left there a whole new person. People don't see that side when you're giving back.
Well, you know, when you're driving, you just have to focus on the furthest distance away and then focus on in front of you. I think we have a small level of perception here in this island because it's a small island. And in most small islands, we look at what is nearest to us. So you said just Sunday, you know, we always saying, Machel, don't give us it, but that we is not the real we. That is just a small voice of people saying that who don't know. If you were to really raise up and announce all the youths in this place who Machel had come forward, you will see a bigger crowd than that noise of people who are saying that. But those people don't go about making noise. You know, you see the banging cymbals, you never hear about that, making the loudest noise, the empty vessels. It's just people who living like that and they're projecting that because they think nobody there for them. Have they been there for somebody? You know, I don't have to prove of who have been helping. You know, there are people like Patrice Roberts, Farmer Nappy, Colonel Roberts, and you go back down the line and you will see these people are thriving today. One or two might not make it, but that's not on me. Not everybody will make it. You know, but when you look at Machel concert in Real Unity, I had Orlando Octave out there singing to Young Soca. I had Aaron Duncan on my stages. I had Young Devil on my stages. I had, you name every young soca artist or calypso, Synergy Soca star right here. Voice. I was the one who come out on stage and perform Alien with Voice as his mentor. I was an investor in Synergy TV and Synergy Soca star with Peter C. Lewis. You know, Trinidad Killer was a beneficiary of that show too. I mean, so I don't know, we don't really go on facts in this country. We go and talk. And if we talk spicy, we grab it and we feel like that's the narrative.
Correct.
But that narrative is the people who know don't speak out loud. We don't boast. We don't go out there trying to cause confusion.
And I just speak about that. You know, I just mentioned voice as well. it's important, especially in interviews like this, to get your feedback, because my take would be that all this is healthy pecan, part of what Trinidad and Tobago is about. But it seems that looking at a couple memes or even responses, people are taking this whole voice or bungee garland, the comments that are floating around on the stages, etc., to another level. But it's important to hear it from you that this is just all part of the thing.
Well, to a certain extent, but it looks like that on media. But if you go behind the field too, there is there's more than that to it. It's not just pecan, but pecan don't just come just so, Machel didn't wake up one day and decide to throw pecan on anybody. Yeah. If you go back in all of my pecan, I defended myself, right? So
Dr. Machel.
Right.
But that.
Any pecan you see Machel out there, I will never pick it up. You've never seen me throw pecan on Sparrow, Kitchener, Calypso Rose. Those are my elders. They part the way. I don't know if anybody see me as an elder. Maybe because I'm so vibrant in the battle still.
Right.
I'm still on the field. Maybe me and you sit on the same bench, But I am 51 and pumping hard. When I see Sparrow, Kitchener, I bow to them because I know what they have done for me. Others will see it as, boy, we had to take Machel off the top of the tree. We had to lick him off. They took him out 10 years in the game and 20 years in the game. This is over 45 years and more.
But this is what I was going to ask you. 11 road march titles, Chutney Monarch, Super Monarch.
7 Super Monarch.
At what point would you go, I am able to speak. I am able to say all of these things with conviction.
If a person like that was not liked, right, or was doing the wrong thing, they wouldn't sell out the stadium over and over. They wouldn't sell out Barclays over and over. They wouldn't sell out UBS Arena over and over. They wouldn't sell out Madison Square Garden over and over. They wouldn't win 11 road matches, the most ever. They wouldn't win Super Monarchs. It is not possible. We living in some detached realities. As much as you might see, there's a bunch of people who don't like Machel or like to hate on Machel or like to challenge or there's a whole
you think that
lot.
really is, Machel, you really think that is they don't like, or they just...
Well, there's a thin line. There's a thin line.
I have to say something.
No, they love Machel is. They don't like that they're not there, so they want to get there, which is fine. You're feeling a void. You're actually yearning for a void that you have that you want to get, which is how life's supposed to be. I used to be jealous of Brian Lara and Dwight York when they in the white auto rental cars with real girls. I wanted real girls too, and I wanted rentals. And I decided one day I'm going to work as hard as them to become legend. You know what I'm saying? I'm still working at it. I'm not at Brian Lara or Dwight York level yet, because they are global. I still working towards that in the field. I'm not in sports. I'm in music and I'm doing soccer. So I'm still pushing. But I feel just as proud of myself for what I've done, because I could see everybody, all of you who talk about me, these big guns too, I see what they're doing that look like what Machel had put out there, and they're taking it up and following my footsteps. So I don't need nothing else than they already giving me the assurance that they love something about what I'm doing. They love me. You understand what I'm saying? And if in consciousness or unconsciousness they say something, I am forgiving. I'm a very forgiving being. I understand what the fight is, and I say, let it be, whatever it is. At the end of the day, it's the results. And same coming and going.
This is your captain speaking. Welcome to Carib Country.
See the vibration. Carib, Carib in me hand. I jumping in a band, no matter the weather. Hey, say we don't care. Just give me some soca and I call Carib. Carib, feel it.
Frolic Friday, February 13th. Meet us at Fed Yard, Queen's Hall, Port of Spain, from 5 p.m. to midnight. Performing live, Voice, Nadia Batson, Mikael Teja, Destra Garcia, Lil Kerry, Ding Dong, Anika Berry, and more. The premium food-inclusive Cooler Fed. Tickets are $500. Log on to KenSimmonsTT.com for all the info. Sponsored by Simon's Musical Supplies, Food Hall, RC Mass, Carib, Blue Waters, Stamina Energy, and Campari.
Carnival is coming, and you want to feel confident in your body. But when your appetite is low, gaining healthy weight can be a real challenge. That's where a Petamin comes in, an appetite stimulant that helps support better eating and healthy weight gain. With improved appetite, your body gets the nourishment it needs to build natural shape and fullness. So when Carnival time reaches, you feel good, confident, and comfortable in your costume. Start a Petamin now and get Carnival ready. A Petamin is available at pharmacies nationwide. Check your favourite pharmacy for special deals.
This is your captain speaking. Welcome to Carib Country.
Carib, yeah, see the vibration. Carib, 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 yeah. Feel Carib in me hand. I jumping in a band, no matter the weather. Hey, say we don't care. Just give me some soca and I call Carib, 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 Carib. Feel it.
Are you an entrepreneur? Make some money this carnival. Just arrived at Tate's. Bread crates, cotton candy machines, snow cone machines, popcorn machines, Pablo camp carts, and Atlanta meat saw blades with various lengths. 9296 Abercrombie Street, Port of Spain. Tate's. Make some money this carnival.
Well, yo, this is your boy Ricky J. You ever late for the fete, so you mash down on the X? Speeding come like normal until you realize how fast things can go wrong. So this carnival, we on a slower scene. Choose to slow down and obey the speed limit. Better choices, safer carnival. I, Ricky J, say so. Don't spoil my name, don't spoil my name. Son, I'm telling you plain. Don't spoil my name, don't spoil my name. I'm telling you again and again. I'm telling you again and again. This carnival, slow down. Don't spoil my name. Son, I'm telling you plain. Don't spoil my name, don't spoil my name.
Every year there's something that, you know, you mentioned Brian Lara and Dwight York as the greats that they are, football great. You know, Dwight York doing what he did at Manchester United, Brian Lara to cricket. Again, all these people putting Trinidad and Tobago on the map.
Yeah.
Carnival is a huge thing globally, as we've seen, and regardless of where it is, whether people talk about Grenada coming up in the carnivals, Jamaica carnivals, etc., the one commonality in there is what you have done over the years. I mean,
Yes.
11 road marches at the moment. We still can't forget the others in between that might not have got road march. And as you are
second, and I can
It's Carnival.
most. It's Carnival, Scandalous, Higher Than High, Survivors, by Clef. So many of my songs were right up there in all the road march races. But it's not about that. What about the albums? What about the Fast Wines? What about the One More Times?
Yeah.
What about the chutney songs like Real Unity? What about, I was just in Chutney Soca last night, and now getting ready for a major concert tomorrow, and then we then do a fete. I am touching every front.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the only artists still producing a full-length album, collaborating with international artists. You know, reason he started touching all the producers, you know, across the genre to make sure I do work with each one of them, whether they're young, they're old, they're seasoned, they're upcoming. You know, it's a lot.
That is something, I just said a lot. 43 albums plus.
Beyond that, probably 50.
Nowhere in the world is music as a genre attached to a major event that people practically build their lives over. You know, these 2 days of Carnival, this period. And then on top of that, to have to put out an album every year is a feat in itself. But I want to ask you, is there a favorite of yours that I want to say favorite, not necessarily one you like the most, but that might have done the most or inspired you the most, that might not be the most popular, or maybe it is?
In terms of albums?
In terms of a song that you...
Song? Oh, I can't do that with songs. I have multiple favorites. But I have some favorite albums like the Ecstatic Circus, when I was able to go and do my interludes and, you know, put messages in there. The Monte album, that was cool too. The Double M album was also nice. It was a double album with things like Happiest Man Alive and things. I have nice projects. And when I get the time and the space, I get to be creative. So, you know, now my next mission is to capture this 12 road march. Give them my ease up. You know, give them my ease up. You know, they say, oh, God, March, I'll give you a ease up. Give them my ease up and just, you know, go in the lab now to really dictate the next 20 years. The vision that I will put out there, that I know a lot of young people will pick up, will follow, will imitate, will expand upon, will be inspired by to see where they should be going. Because I think that is what the statement is. It's not just trying to win or trying to be famous or trying to be big or have the biggest show. It's really about trying to make right decisions that could express your art and reach more and more people.
So this 12, you've said it's really for the team. And I know at one point we were discussing, you were speaking about competition, and it's about everybody coming together in a unity as opposed to competition. But outside of the team, this must mean something to you to be considered. Now you're equal to the Lord Kitchener, but to really surpass and be undisputed. Is this a sort of checklist to say, hey, I did it, I show you, whatever?
I mean, I have 12 road marches already. I wrote and produced Footsteps. So what's the difference about having it under your name versus having it as something that you have created? Because I play a role in every single road march song, getting it over the threshold, whether I write it or produce it or sing it alone. Every single one, you ask every producer. I was in there, in the belly, rearranging words, rearranging choruses, working on it, showing them what it took for it to be road march. So I know that my creativity is there. I also have Footsteps. So Footsteps is 12 already. I already did. I don't need an official title to say it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need some sort of trophy to feel good about. I feel good already. Beating Kitchener is not my goal. That is he's one of the goals to me. Sparrow, Kitchener, Royal Lion, Pretender. You know what I mean? All these guys. Well, I mean, it looks good on paper, but it's not a good feeling.
Right. Because
the man has already passed away.
Yeah.
So what you're trying to do, feel good about somebody else's loss? You can't feel good about somebody else's loss. Yeah, all that is, the real value of it is to show another young person it is achievable. In your lifetime, you can achieve that. You know, achieving 11 is just as good, but becoming legend like Kitchener, when he became legend, somebody had to meet him. So if I go one up, somebody have to meet me and pass me. Yeah. And you must give people that hope. Or else they'll sit down and think, that can't happen, boy. I will leave that alone. In this lifetime, or in this century, or in this, millennia, we will see that again. No, you want people to push.
Let's talk, because I have one or two insider here from the man himself, Andrew Jeffers, who wrote, and it's the same team who wrote and produced Encore and Party.
Yeah.
What would you say is different this year? The pressures must be there to continue to radiate at this level. I mean, Party was a big one. It was a build, but then it became a big one, and then now Encore. What are some of the things you may identify?
Well, the fight is more fierce. The pushback is more fierce. They who were loved, boy, they were big stars last year at Party. Really loved them. The same love that they was getting, now they getting fight done. Like immediately they become Machel camp. But Machel getting this every single year, every time. So I accustomed. So I started already give them therapy sessions and tell them, yes, this is expected, this is how it is.
Right.
And they like, wait, we never know it would be like this.
Them.
Yeah, because it's more serious. The air is rare up here, it's thin. You're about to do something that nobody really want to see you do. It's like the crab that coming out the barrel. And all the others say, no, don't go, don't leave us, stay with us. And they pull them back down. Not knowing that if he come out, he could pull them out one by one.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's a crab in a barrel thing. I take it down to this. To every force, there's an equal and opposing force. If you try to jump super high, gravity will react super harshly and send you back down. You understand what I'm saying? With displacement of water and such, all these things, this is physics. When you're really going for something great, some people, you know, I just feel like, you know, it's like we're asking ourselves that in the Corey Shepherd talk, we are talking about whether, you know, it was like that when Lara was on 374. You know, what Sober's family was thinking. No.
Yeah.
You know, when Usain Bolt was going to, and what Calloway's family was thinking. No. You know, I don't know. I don't know if this is music and this is soca. This is a part of history that we have never had in Trinidad and Tobago.
I remember that there was an expo right here in the stadium, right on these grounds that we're on now when Lara hit that 375. And the euphoria around there, I remember it like it was yesterday. But I want to talk about this building behind us here. This is where you've had your biggest crowds to date on several occasions, and it's done a lot. And you mentioned about being 51. I mean, I turned 51 this year, and we both dyed our beards.
Yeah.
And that's part and parcel of the industry that we're in, you know, to be able to perform. But do you find in creativity that you have to work that stage harder? I know even with phones and it.
Oh, for sure. To get the audience today is much more difficult. They didn't come out to party. They also stand up there for you to impress them, because even that very internet is about people doing the craziest things.
Yeah.
And, you know, people want to go viral. So to go viral, the more you want to go viral, you have to do something ridiculous. Go in a lion head. You know what I mean? Go up on the edge of a building and lean over, and everybody will get likes. Everybody want to see it. So it is tough to get the crowd when they're in that mood. But, you know, nothing is easy. Life have corners and life have phases. We in it. I find solutions. I give them a flag. You know, I tell them, all right, take that first one for your phone. I sure you're going to see a lot of entertainers now following that, because I'm looking for solutions. I'm not looking for problems. And I can't tell the audience what to do. I can either just stay home and don't come, or run out and don't care. You know what I mean? And most nights, I do what I had to do, and I work the crowd piece by piece until I have them, you know?
Are you ready? Put your hand in the air. Hey, mash it up, rip it up, mash it up. Somebody scream! Here we go. Hey, they say you won't get as good as the last before. Why? We are endurance. Standing out if we are so weak. Now we tell them, last them was good. We just did great. When I say one more, you It's not morning yet. Is it morning? Machel Monday. No, this is not Machel Monday. I can't tell you. Monday, say yeah. Low. Listen. That is it. That is it. Put down all your hand. That first one was for the phones. We fed up on the phones. Put away the phone. Everybody who have a phone. You are pointing out all of you. You, Miss Lady. Without me too. Put away. You with our Samsung. Put away. Put it away. We're going back to the days of Machel Montano in the stadium. Who was in the stadium? Do it all over again like it's a. Show me your rap. Show me your flag. Everything you have. Time to get so bad. That's a wave. Left to right. Wave. They say you only as good as your last perform. Wave. Roll long as it. More bad. On you. Stop. Last time was good.
This is a personal favorite of mine. The things like, and again, I'll have to laugh because I'm not going to say it wrong, right? But the things like, hui, and hey ha, and the mada on, and that in itself a word, adlibs, I'm concerned that itself might become a meme, right? But they become so trademarked to Machel. Did they just pop out? And if they did or didn't, when did you know that this is it? This is my thing. This is what everybody's going to, I'm going to put this in every song, or this is my tag.
Hui and hey ha just popped out. And I have met these terms in some deep spiritual teachings and practices. Even like hey ha is like Encore. It is the yin and the yang. It is the expression of the body. Half the time when I go into Pilates or I go into yoga and I learn certain moves, they are moves that come to me naturally. You know, when I see somebody say cat pose and you push up your back like a cat gets up and doing that every morning, or a dog doing this every morning. It is actually natural things that the beings of this earth do. How you yawn when your body lacking oxygen. How birds make noises before they're able to take flight, because that increases their buoyancy. If you're going to learn real techniques across this world about being, which is what I do in yoga, you will understand where things come from. So hey ha, it's not coming from me but coming through me because of a certain feeling. I was frustrated that night in the studio, Christmas night. I wanted to go home. Everybody leave me. And somebody called me to record a song. I said, please, Machel, hear this song and just freestyle on it and just jump on it. And I said, I want to go and sleep. He said, God, Machel, please, I beg you, just listen to it. And he put it on and it was Jambalasi, Jambalasi, Jambalasi. And I was going hui because I needed to go home. And I was just pissed. Right. I was putting all, it's like when a man in chi, when you go, huh, and he do the, huh. You understand? You see Bruce Lee do it. And these things just become that. And the more I say it, it starts to stick. And if it's sticking and everybody will see me, they will say, Machel. If I walk in past here, I see, hey, ha! If I driving on the road, hey, ha! If I go somewhere, "Hui!" They're not even saying Machel anymore.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with their songs. Every year people would know people say, "Encore, boy, Mama Encore, hey party." You know, it's like if things resonate, they will resonate. It happens.
You've done so much. I mean, people look up to you, and whether they understand you or they try to understand. I mean, as we keep saying, seek to understand before you seek to be understood. They're entertained. Who inspires you, or what inspires you?
That's a funny question. I asked myself that question in the year 2000. I said to myself, Machel, what it is make you tick? What it is you are about? What impresses
What's
you?
your why?
Yeah, and you know, after a while I look around and I had to look within and I had to check myself, and the word greatness came up. And this is in the year 2000. I was in love with greatness. I was impressed by greatness. And immediately with the greatness I was talking about was the great ones. I was talking about Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, these Malcolm X, these great people who are like, you will see them painted up on walls all over. You will see them as, you know, how did they become great? What is this greatness about? So I went and I watched every Mahatma Gandhi movie, every Martin Luther King, everything to understand. And I really end up seeing regular people, just people who were passionate about something, believe in something, stood for something, had integrity about it, and was unwavering.
What are some of your, in that inspiration, as you talk about greatness with Martin Luther, all these people that you mentioned, they all have these quotes. I mean, a quick Google and you can see 10 most inspirational quotes. Do you have one that's Machel's that you could impart or share with us?
Of course. What you work hard to attain, you must work even harder to maintain. It's the equivalent to more money, more problems. The greater you try to achieve, is the greater you get, is the harder you're going to have to work to stay there, unless you get down. But everything that is built up must break down. But breakdown is not a bad word, because the leaves break down into the soil and create organic matter that then create fertility for other seeds to grow, and they become part of that life. So in death, there is life. So in breakdown, you understand? But I always say, what you work hardest at to attain, you'll have to work even harder at to maintain. So know that the bigger you get, with great blessings come great responsibility. You know? As Machel Montano comes up, you have to change his ways. You have to become a little more serious, a little more conscious, a little more aware, a little more empathetic or compassionate. You know, you have to become wise as you grow and you become your fold start to grow. You know, the book of Jabez, you know what you have start to become increased. So I have my great sayings based on what they, you know, a book that I always say, what got you here, didn't get you there. And sometimes you have to drop those old things and put in new things. Because you know you want to go somewhere, but where are you really going? You must be better than yesterday, as good as your last performance, or better.
You know, and we spoke about that in several different ways in the narrative of this particular interview, where the whole point of a true leader, the legacy of a true leader or anyone, is to leave something better than they found it. And part of that being your legacy would be what people have learned along the way. And as you as a visionary pave the next frontier, the next way.
Listen, leave here better than you came. Leave here better than you came.
Yeah.
What your parents put you there with, build upon that. And see if you could leave here better.
Yeah.
And when I say leave here, I just talk about physically. People will remember me for the essence of my being.
Yeah.
The people who work with me will see what they gain. The people who, you know, talk to me will remember how they felt. They could sit on the tombstone and here lies Machel Montano, you win 7, so come on up, 12 road march, whatever.
That's what I asked you. And the first question is, do you think that people, one, got it, and do they get it in terms of what you're trying to do and leave behind as your legacy?
It doesn't matter who gets it or who don't get it. My own. I get it. That's what matters. Those who have eyes to see will see, and those who have ears to hear will hear. The one thing I can tell you is, you're not going to leave this cycle until you get it. Until we all get it. Because when you get it, you will decide, I want to move on to something else.
Because Maya Angelou said, people don't remember what you did, they remember how you made them feel.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The essence of your being is what is important.
Yeah.
For you to say, people can say what they want about Machel, get it or ain't get it. The people who felt me and remember the moments in their life, they will know how it felt. And they don't need to get it, they have it already. Boy, I was on that stage when Machel turned around on Big Truck and sent everybody back on the stage for Toro, running back on. Is that
1997?
97, we sent Poison back on the stage on Big Truck. Turn around the crowd, pop, and where it has come down, we went back across. Security mayhem. And that's where we write Toro. Because we remember how it was looking, they were like charging bulls. These moments wouldn't go away.
Going through So there's always a chain looming around. So in my final question, I'm gonna read it straight from here just to make sure I get it correct. So you're going for the 12th. So that line in the song that says, last year was good, but we chasing greatness. Is this the end of a chapter and on to another? Is what we're experiencing now the encore?
This is the end of a chapter. For us, intentionally. We have something that we're dreaming of. We feel for the first time we have the team that can achieve it. We have all the opportunities and the relationships waiting for us. We have the stars are aligned and everything is with us. And that can seem scary to some people, but that can seem exciting to others. It is exciting to us. We're not scared. There's no fear because we feel there will be no loss. There will only be things to gain. And it's the beginning of a new chapter for sure. And for one to begin, one has to end. So be it.
So as I started off, Monk, Dr. Mashup, HD, Ecstatic, Taipan, all of these are just names that would chronicle through the years and years of Carnival, 41 plus years that you've been doing this. Always a pleasure, always inspirational. I don't mind if you leave with maybe one of your favorite quotes and one from you to all those who are listening out there.
Listen, what you put in is what you're going to get out. You asked me in the beginning, how do I do it? Mm-hmm. Not sleeping, coming out here, they just come on a dime to go here, have sound check after this. I don't know. All I can tell you is that you swim, sink or you swim. Mm-hmm. And I want to live. Yeah. Once you understand the value of life and how sacred it is to be able to be alive and interact with friends and family and do things and create things, you will know how valuable it is to stay alive. And when you say stay alive, just show up. Just show up. I cannot say I can't go where I go drop down.
Yeah.
But if I come here and I don't drop down, I learn something new. I learn to have a little more. So just try. Just push yourself. Just don't give up. Sometimes just rest. If something ain't going the way it should be going, go on the beach. Go and lie down in the grass and don't do nothing. Get silent. Give up spiritually, but don't give up physically. Because every down slope is the beginning of an up slope. Take your time. You'll be all right.
So last year was great, but we're chasing greatness.
Mom, Dad, this is Trevor.
Hi. He's no Kieran. Back up.
Fling? That's why he crossed the road.
It was funny when Kieran said it.
Oh, who could that be?
We're like the parents who don't miss your ex.
I can't believe Kieran is in the neighborhood.
CG United. Good like that.
From CXC to your business management degree in just over 2 years with the globally and ACTT recognized ABE qualification at CTS College. Students with limited CSEC passes or mature candidates with work experience can enroll. Each level can be completed in under 6 months, with a diploma awarded upon completion of each level and a bachelor's degree awarded at the end of the entire program. Contact CTS College today and ask about our flexible payment terms.
This is your captain. Welcome to Carib Country.
Yeah, see the vibration. Carib, 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 yeah. Feel Carib in me hand. Feel I jump in a band, no matter the weather. Hey, say we don't care. Just give me some soca and I call Carib, Carib. Carib, Carib, feel it.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait, choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
Some of us like to test limits, but there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
Yes, I see we had plans to have big carnival city that will have big roads and big stages and big pavilions. We're trying to fit a huge idea into a city that's not growing or have nowhere to grow, but yet the audience growing. So we're not growing in hotels, we're not growing in flights, we're not growing in, a way to expand.
But why? What do you think is, it can't be the small island mentality. Why is it we can't recognize
it's just basic. If you're collecting money and you're trying to stuff it in a bag, suppose you get so much money it can't fit in the bag, what you will do? Take out money, put less money in the bag, or get a bigger bag and put more money in. That's it. How much more people we could put in here? So it will start to either shrink, which is what is happening to us eventually, because everybody can't come here. So some will go Jamaica, some will go Barbados, some will think. Jamaica, Barbados, Grenada will learn in the meantime, get the same designers, the same music. Right, nothing wrong with them learning. But are we advancing? You mustn't be vexed at the people who learn from you advance. You just have to keep moving too. Remember I tell you, only as good as your last performance. Exponential is life. So you can become better. You are the top. Become better until one day you can't become better anymore and you start to go down with grace, which is you become somebody like a mentor. You become somebody who can help others. You understand?
But if I'm listening on to this, I will be thinking with Machel, if anybody could bring that to the fore, get people to change, whoever's that voice will be you. Who else bigger than your voice could make that change?
Believe me, I tried to make changes. I tried to sell out the National Stadium.
You did?
Okay then, and I tried to do it bigger and better. And the time I tried to do the biggest, I was unable to do it on Carnival Friday. I couldn't get the right screens, I couldn't get the right scaffolding. I couldn't get the right floor for it was just too big for a bigger vision.
Yeah,
and I had to train it well. I had to give up.
You had to settle for mediocrity.
Well, I had to lose that battle to win the war. You understand what I'm saying?
Because there's one thing I want to get from it, because so many people, Machel, fight with that, where you have the vision, you have the ideas, and yet still, because of maybe a certain environment, you have to settle. You have to settle, and using the word settle for less. How do you do that when inside you're screaming to say, I am this, I am bigger than
well, the main thing I'm trying to preserve is this. So I wouldn't blow a gasket.
Right.
So I accept where it's at, but I ask myself, how would I respond? What is my responsibility? And my ability to respond is I will respond in the way that first of all maintains this and keeps this pleasant. So don't get angry, don't make it blow a gasket, but ask myself, like I wanted to have the first drone show in Trinidad and Tobago on that one show Friday night.
Yeah.
I spent from 6 o'clock in the evening till 9 p.m. before the show trying to get approvals.
Right.
And nobody will approve. And it didn't happen because of a law in Trinidad and this and that and this one and that one. And I was just defeated. I had to change the entire intro of my show after it was planned on the spot. The show ended up late. You know, so much will go wrong. So eventually, I had to decide, maybe what I'm trying to do is too big for here. Maybe I have to let me stoop, let me retreat and focus on something else. And I turn my focus to the music and the relationships outside and selling out stadiums, UBS Arena, Barclays Center twice so far since that time.
Tiny desk.
Tiny desk. We'll be looking for smaller looks that will create bigger impact.
Right.
Because maybe we're trying to put too much into this small bag. And let's leave here, and a lot of people feeling that way too much. Oh God, we're too big, and everything. Okay, so maybe that's when you just leave. Maybe that's when Rose left. Maybe that's when Sparrow left. Maybe that's when Karen and Jacob had to leave. What is it that after a while we can't expand exponentially anymore at home if we're not getting the right materials and assistance and we want to. Now we have a carnival. Look at this. We had a carnival where we had a big stage with a big stands. Now look at we reduced to something smaller. We reduced to smaller stands. We used to go on that Queen's Park Savannah stage with numbers and big costumes and have cameras that we'd see on TV. All of that is shrinking. We have to focus on where do we put our energy in order to expand exponentially. Or we'll just keep shrinking and we'll just keep adjusting, and we'll have peaks and valleys. Ebbs and flows, yeah, for sure.
What was it like? I mean, because nobody's done it but you. What is it like with your fellow Trinidadians, Trinbagonians, people coming from all over? The representation of Carnival is so dear to all of us. You being Mr. Carnival, to be inside of there and know that this thing is sold out and control that. What is that feeling like, if you could sum it up?
I mean, it's the greatest feeling. It is the greatest feeling to see every seat filled to see. We used to say all the way down to Movie Town. We used to watch that. You feel a oneness. It is much of a oneness because there's so much people all about one energy. Machel Monday. But the whole streets buzzing, all the vendors buzzing. If we don't continue to have stadia to fill, how would our young people dream of being a Michael Jackson or a Lady Gaga or a Burna Boy or a Bad Bunny? We can't dream of doing it right at Bad Bunny and just sell out night after night after night in huge arenas. We just using small venues and fetes, and I was the one who dreamt of having a concert as an artist. Now today we have Irfan, we have Nyla, we have Kes, we have Nadia, we have Lyrical, we have Rap. Everybody have their own show, their own concert. That was not happening before.
And trademark things, the waving of the flag, the coming out from behind the stage, even you see some memes about it.
Man.
I mean, I'm not saying that in some of these things you might not pioneer it, but certainly you're the person that we recognize it from as doing it.
For sure. Inspiration comes from all over, and it's just a matter of seeing it and dreaming it. And if you're not seeing the examples, if I couldn't see the example of Martin Luther King and Marcus Garvey, Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, if I couldn't see that and read about it and understand them, how would I dream to be anything as great?
You're watching CNC3.